A great humbling is coming soon. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. This lesson was inspired by a couple of videos I watched. Number one being a video Elder Pastor posted up on this Polynesian individual. And it was a video that Richie from Boston had put up. And I went and actually watched the video. And pretty much, they got Japhet out there, singing the New World Order song, talking about the rising coming, talking about the New World Order, talking about closing down the borders because of COVID-19 is on the rise, blase, 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 blase. And then I watched Pastor's video, I watched Richie from Boston video, and then I watched this guy named Jeremiah Babe. I watched his video. Pretty much he was saying that this is going to be the greatest economic collapse ever, the greatest economic crisis ever. So it's going to make 1929 seem like child's play, and pretty much he was going into a lot of stats and different things, concerning this economic collapse is coming. He was saying how, when a country is not manufacturing anything and not, making anything to make money, pretty much, they're pretty much done, So we're about to witness the greatest collapse ever. He said we're in the second quarter, I believe he said. He said nothing's really happened yet, but it's not much longer before this economy can hold up. The printing press is going on 24/7. So it's going to be a great economic collapse. And also, I watched videos. I'm not sure if it was a Richie from Boston one or something else, talking about the Great Reset. They're trying to reset everything, because really what they're trying to do is bring in the New World Order, the cashless society, so they could introduce the mark of the beast, which is a microchip, which is already here, but they want to put it into people. They want to get this thing off the ground. So that's where we're at with it. So pretty soon, the people are already feeling it, but pretty soon they're going to really feel the pinch, once the noose gets tighter and tighter, especially on the economy, because that's one thing that people depend on for food, to pay their bills, and just to live in general. Millions and millions of jobs are being lost and not coming back. Many different businesses are closing down and not coming back. Mayor Cuomo's talking about shutting down the restaurants in New York again. The food industry is suffering. So that's going to bring great famine. So what I want to do is I want to start off in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, because there's a very key point in there that sheds the light, this stuff that's coming. I'm going to start at 14. The point is in verse 18. So it says, 2nd Ezra 15 and 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. So destruction is heading this way. And the people that have been calling us, been laughing at us, laughing at the prophecies and all that, they're going to feel it. The people out there that have been making mockery of the so-called conspiracy theorists and the New World Order, and how people are bugged out for talking about that stuff, they're going to feel the pinch too. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So there's going to be race wars, class wars. There's going to be a lot of friction and a lot of tension because people are going to start getting more and more desperate than what they already are. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. So there's going to be sedition among men. There's going to be sedition among the different classes. And there's also going to be a sedition against the government, governmental agencies, you know. And we've been telling you that these troops, you know, these pretty much the New World Order troops are going to be pushing this agenda forward, you know. And recently we talked about how the UN forces are going to be used for the New World Order. And in that video about the New World Order and, you know, borders closing and all that, who did they have there? The blue helmets, as Richie from Boston was bringing out. So pretty much everything is in place, man. You know, everything is in place. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. So there's going to be fights breaking out between citizens. It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and they're not going to listen to the government, because listening to the government got them in the position that they're in at this very moment. You know, the promise of these stimulus checks, you know, the promise of the economy bouncing back, the promise of eradicating so-called COVID by shutting everything down. Got people in a quagmire. Look that word up. And they're in desperation mode, but the desperation mode is going to intensify. Remember, Gerald Celente said, when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. And we're about to witness that this people losing it, because there's shit is shutting down. It's shutting down. You know, essential things that people are going to need are going to be shutting down. They're saying that the governments are buying up a bunch of food, you know, and storing it up. So there's something going on behind the scene. Oh, that's another thing too. It said the New World Order behind closed doors. That was another lyric to the song. You know? So there's something going on that's about to explode in a worldwide, you know, in the world. But especially here in America. Out there in California, man, that place is pretty much finished, man. You know, I was just watching a video how back in the 80s into the 90s, you know, the economy of San Francisco exploded because of the technology, you know, of the microchip and, you know, different computer stuff, you know, and how the housing, you know, escalated, you know, was very high because there was not that many homes and stuff. And now pretty much San Francisco is like a ghost town, you know. They said that if San Francisco was to be a country by itself, it would be the 19th richest economy back then. But now it's finished, man. So this place is done, man. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So no longer will people, you know, adhere to the laws of the land, so to speak, because they're going to take matters into their own hands, because they're seeing how leaving the matter into the hands of the government got them even in a worse situation. By giving heed and staying at home, all that happened was the economy suffered, businesses suffered, you know, so all of that lack, you know, of these different businesses and finance is going to cause a lack of bread. And that's what's going to bring the great humbling, and eventually the so-called New World Order not being able to get off the ground fully, you know, or when they just about got it off the ground, the Lord come to destroy them. That's going to be another part of the humbling. So it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You know, they're going to have checkpoints. You know, they're going to force people eventually to take that vaccine. Eventually, first it's going to be voluntary, then eventually mandatory. Because the people that don't get vaccinated won't be able to work, won't be able to go to the different stores, won't be, you know, may not be even be able to drive. may not even be able to leave their homes. So it's getting bad out here, and it's going to get worse. It says, for this is the point right here, verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yeah, because it's going to be terrible times. And you're going to see the monster coming out of people. And that's pretty much what these zombies represent. It represents the monstrosity that comes out of people when they're in a desperate state. You know? And who knows if the ones that get vaccinated, if there's not something in there that's going to turn them into some crazy shit. You see the movie I Am Legend. What happened? They so-called found a cure for cancer, and they treated everyone, and everyone they treated got cured. And then not too long after that, they all turned into something else. The cities were abandoned. You know, Manhattan was abandoned, which is there now. A lot of businesses are leaving out of Manhattan because it's too expensive to keep the rent going when there's no business coming in. So a lot of people are fleeing. It's not a coincidence that at the end of 2019 into 2020, a lot of CEOs from these major corporations that were making big money resigned. So things are going to get bad. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? So there's going to be great tribulation and a lack of bread. And that's going to cause disparity, if I'm using the word correctly. That's going to cause mayhem. That's going to cause desperation. All right? So there's a great humbling coming because this place has been proud against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know, they've been walking in their pride. They've been walking in their wantonness. They've been walking carelessly, like the scriptures say. You know, but now it's time to pay the piper. Let's go to Proverbs 11 and 2. And it reads, when pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. So this world that's full of pride is going to come to shame. That pompous attitude that Esau has, that pompous attitude that these women have, that these certain jakes out there have, it's going to come down. It's going to be brought very low because there's going to be a great humbling coming. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before fall. So we're in the time where the Lord is about to humble all these proud looks, all this pride, the proud talking, you know, the bragging and the boasting. It's about to be brought down very low. Let's go from there to Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29 and 23. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. So a man's pride shall bring him low. And this is why we just read, because of the pride of the city, the pride that's going on. All of this stuff is coming down. And it's no coincidence that June, the month of June, and that whole homosexual agenda, Rainbow Coalition, named June Pride Month. And they call that pride. That's part of their pride. That homosexual, lesbian, transgender, spirit. That's the same way Sodom and Gomorrah and the other neighboring cities were until the day they got brought down. All right. So let's go from there to 2nd Ezra. This is just a couple of precepts that I wrote down. I looked up, the word pride. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And this is one of the main reasons why the Lord is going to do that. One of the things he hates is pride, a proud look. You know, the scripture said, he that is greatly exalted is abomination in the sight of the Lord, or something like that. This place is an abomination, man. And it's about to be taken out. And good riddance. That's pretty much the main point. I mean, there's more, but I just want to hit that point. Now let's go from there to the book of Isaiah chapter 2. And I got a couple more precepts, and we could close out the lesson. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 17. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. That's right. Because this is the time of the world, but the time of the world has an end. And the Lord is going to visit these nations, is going to visit their leaders, is going to visit these international bankers, is going to visit the people that are rocking with this society. This is Isaiah 23:9. The Lord of hosts hath purposed it to stain the pride of all glory and to bring into contempt all the honorable of the earth. So the Lord is going to bring to contempt all the honorable of the earth. He's going to bring down their pride. It's going to come down very low because they've waxed proud against the Most High. Let's go from there to the book of Malachi. I'm sorry, not Malachi, Job. I'm going to read a couple of verses in Job. I got one more precept, possibly another one, and then we'll close out. This is Job chapter 20, and let's start at verse 3. It says, I'll start at 4. It says, knowest thou not this from old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. So this place is going to be finished. The triumphing of the wicked is short. Yeah, they had a good run, but now their time is up. Now it's time to pay the piper. So let's jump down. Let's jump down. 19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. Yeah. So in his mind, he's not going to feel that quietness. That quietness is going to drift away because, you know, although they have the plans on using the nuclear missiles to scare the world into this new world order, it's going to backfire on them because the Lord is going to actually use that to destroy this place, because that is the technology the Lord gave them to bring forth their judgment. It goes on to say, he shall not save of that which he desired. Yeah, because they have everything set up, but they're not going to save of that which they desired. You know, scriptures tell us in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Let me get that real quick. Habakkuk chapter 2. Let me see if I can find the verse. Just want to go straight to the point. Habakkuk chapter 2 and 9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. See? So destruction unto you. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. So there's going to be a destruction that's coming to this place. So going back to Job 20:20, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired, because now he sees the new world order in his sight. You know, they can almost taste it. So their mind is at ease, but it's not going to be at ease when they see the turn of events that the Most High is going to bring. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. There shall none of his be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. That's right. Because they're at their full, they're going to be in a position of difficulty because their plans are going to backfire on them. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. The hand of the wicked is talking about the laborers. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, meaning when he's about to fully implement this new world order and sit back and relax and chill and enjoy the fruits of his wickedness, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So that's what those missiles were set up for, to destroy the plans of the wicked, the Edomites, beginning with the Rothschilds and all the international banking families, the 48ers and all of that. You know, the Lord is going to use that missile to destroy and put out their dreams, because America is the launching site or the catapult that's setting off the New World Order, that has set off the New World Order and put it into motion. It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, which are the missiles, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It says, it is drawn and cometh out of the body. That's the silos. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, which are the nuclear missiles. Terrors are upon him, and those missiles are going to bring great terror. You see what happened over there in Lebanon, that explosion, and how people got rocked. They were shaken just by that little explosion. You see what happened when the Twin Towers went down, the Oklahoma City bombing. People were shook. So just imagine all these missiles flying through the air, about to devastate all of America, all of the land of Israel, and wherever else is going to hit. Imagine the sheer horror of these people that's gonna be in their faces. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking at those things that are coming on the earth. It says, all darkness shall be hidden in secret places. Why? Because the darkness is what? The New World Order behind closed doors that they have pushed, you know, in the dark. And it's going to be done there. Their New World Order is going to die right in those shelters, those bomb shelters. Their goals are going to die there. They're going to be alive, but their dreams and aspirations are going to die in those shelters. A fire not blown shall consume him, which is the missiles, and the fire from the chariots. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacles. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. We see that happening. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. Why? Because it's going to be translated to us. Ecclesiastes the 10th chapter. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. So now let's go to Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. Yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts, that it shall leave neither root nor branch. So I'm read that again. For behold, the day of the Lord cometh. Behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. What's that? The destruction. And all the proud, because a great humbling is coming. Not only is a great humbling coming to these people out here, you know, a lot of these jakes, the 2/3 and people of the world, but also the great humbling is going to come to these international bankers who have in their mind that they're going to continue forever and that they're going to finally get their New World Order off. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts. It shall leave them neither root nor branch. Yeah, because all of their dreams and aspirations are going to be done. Whatever flunkies they have here in America are going to be gone. Over there in the land of Israel, going to be gone. And the next step from there, from those shelters, is what? Straight up captivity. You could read Psalms 149th chapter. You could read Isaiah, the 24th chapter. And that's them going into destruction, into slavery. And after they serve their hardcore slavery, they'll be rounded up at the end and burnt up. And there'll be a great riddance of the plague and pestilence in human form known as Esau, the Edomites, so-called white men, beginning with the international bankers, the 48ers, the Amalekites, and all of them. Every last one of them. So going back to Isaiah chapter 2 and 18 says, and the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth, for the fear of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Shai, and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. And that's what those missiles are going to do. Shaking the earth, like it'll rock to and fro like a drunkard, but also shake it as far as the terror that he's going to bring upon these people. It says, in that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, because they're going to be useless to them when they see the magnificent power of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. The climactic battles. Inside joke. To go into the clefts of the rocks, that's some shelters, and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Shai, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. So bottom line, this place is finished. It's going to be a great humbling. So in the midst of Jacob's trouble, that's going to be a great humbling unto Jake. And it's going to be a great humbling unto the poor among, these other nations. Because everybody's walking in pride. And then eventually, the next great part of that humbling is going to come when the Lord destroys this place and destroys the dreams and aspirations of the so-called New World Order, the agenda of the so-called elite. So it's coming, man. It's right around the corner. Elder Pastor said that like probably 4 months ago, maybe 5 now, that you got about 6 months, to pretty much enjoy yourself. Pretty much after that, there's gonna be all kind of hell breaking loose. Now it could go an extra month or 2 or whatever the case is, but pretty much, dealing with reality, this place is finished, man. Financially, this place is through. And once this economy hits the ceiling and that bubble bursts, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap there. That's why the Spirit's been on the apostle, to tell brothers, if you could get a little silver, a little gold, it's not gonna save us, but it's a hedge. If you could get a little extra, dry goods or canned goods or whatever the case is, and then so be it. But if the case be you can't, don't worry, because if you're a part of the elect, you're going to be protected no matter what. Something, somehow, some way is going to work out. So with that, I'm going to end it there. Lord's will, you brothers have been edified. Till the next time I say shalom.